hope you're doing well. Law and Crime Network came out with a brand new update about Bryan Kohberger. I'll actually link the description in the video to their video because there's a lot of really good stuff in it. But I want to play just parts of it and some things I want to break down and talk about with you. One of the things that they try to do is get in touch with every single student at DeSales University that was a fellow student of Bryan Kohberger, and they didn't have much luck, but they were able to piece together some parts of information from this person and from that person and sort of make a conglomerate out of it. That was, I think, really interesting to watch and listen to. And so let's just kind of go through it together, and I'll be pausing periodically and sharing my thoughts.
What's up, guys? True Crime King back. Took a day break, had to do some stuff, but I'm back for you. All right. So we are taking a look at another Tyler Feller video. He got this from Law and Crime Network. I could have reacted to Law and Crime, but I figured this would be a little bit more exciting. Let's see what Tyler's got to say about this, right? Bryan Kohberger's neighbor apparently grants an interview. So we're going to see what he says and react to it. Here we go.
Bryan Kohberger.
We reached out to Kohberger's entire criminal justice graduating class for this story, but his classmates either didn't reply or denied our request for an interview. One classmate told us via text that DeSales University, quote, sent a general communication that suggested everything go through the university as to be respectful of the ongoing situation.
I mean, if I was in charge of a university, that's exactly what I would say.
I don't know why that's so blurry.
Because the last thing that I would want is for there to be a mass murderer, potentially serial killer, obviously presumption of innocence in the American justice system, whatever. But I would not want the kind of press that this university is likely getting. And so I would be asking people that are a part of my university to calm it down too, like, hey, please don't talk.
The Associate Vice President of Marketing and Communications told us via phone the school did not discourage students to speak with the media, but that she was available to assist in media requests on a case-by-case basis. The school's statement via email...
I can't read that. It's too blurry. What the fuck?
...recapped Kohberger's majors, the years he completed each program, and confirmed he was always a commuter student.
DeSales is just such a close-knit and heartfelt community. Like I said, everybody knows each other, and the fact that really no one knows about this guy, he went in and out.
It's a common theme in Kohberger's past, leaving behind little clues about his isolated personality. Multiple people who knew Kohberger tell us he was strange but hardly memorable.
He was kind of awkward, but I feel like you can't just write someone off as being crazy just because they're a little awkward, you know?
Okay, I agree with that statement. There's a lot of awkward people out there, right? Especially socially awkward. You can't just say they're going to be a mass murderer, right? I mean, everybody's going to be shy, especially when you're first meeting somebody. But it seems like Kohberger was, a little, well, we now know, allegedly, after he killed these 4 people, that he was crazy, right?
This is his Washington neighbor. This would have been the individual that he had the conversation with and mentioned, like, hey, have you heard about what's going on with the Idaho University case?
Just months after his graduation from DeSales, Kohberger moved across the country to Washington to begin his PhD studies in criminal justice at Washington State University.
It's crazy because, literally, days after these murders happened, he brought it up when I saw him in the hallway.
Just across the hall from Kohberger's Pullman, Washington apartment lives Christian Martinez. He says Kohberger's dad approached him early on.
The dad was wanting to introduce me to Bryan, and he said something. I don't remember the exact word he used to describe him, but it was something that was he has a hard time making friends, or he's kind of shy, or something like that.
So, to me, when we see his mom reaching out to people on the internet, trying to create friends for Bryan, we see his dad actually going to Washington, trying to create friends for Bryan, it makes me think that there are some clue pieces along the way
Yeah, why can't Bryan make his own friends? Why is his mom and dad trying to make friends for him, right? That's definitely weird.
That should have been huge red flags to his parents. They knew, guys, we can watch this and see the dad and mom both have, and we actually have the correspondence that the mom wrote. We're concerned about Bryan's ability to have social interactions with others, which means they knew that there were some red flags.
Oh, real quick, subscriber shout out for today, Danny Z. Danny Z. Shout out. Sorry, I do a subscriber shout out almost, well, a lot of videos.
And beyond that, it's not like they're a family that's ignorant to mental health. I mean, his sister,
Only for members, except for Adam yesterday.
both his sisters work in mental health, and one of them is an actual therapist.
Martinez tells us Kohberger kept up with the murders and even brought them up as a topic of conversation.
He was like, "Oh, did you hear about these murders that happened?" And it was like so short after they actually happened. Like there was barely any news articles out, so there wasn't much that I could have read. So I was like, "Yeah, man, that's crazy." Yeah, of course I've heard about him. He was like, "Yeah, it seems like they don't have any leads." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, there's not much about it, you know. There's nothing. I have no details really to say." But yeah, and then he's like, "Yeah, it seems like they think it was a crime of passion." Those are the two things he said. Was that they had no leads and they think it was a crime of passion.
Crime of passion.
On top of that, Kohberger
I don't think it was a crime of passion. I mean, these Bryan and these people weren't sexually involved in any way, in my opinion. Okay, and in my opinion, unlike the drunk turkeys, which, if you guys haven't seen my last video, they changed their mind. I think this is the fourth time now of how either Kaylee or Maddie or whoever met Bryan. You know, they're just following whatever comes out. But yeah, I don't think any of those girls would have number one, matched with Kohberger on Tinder, hit the like button, and number two, he's socially awkward. So, I mean, they would have to communicate before they went on a Tinder date, right? So if he's so awkward that his mother and father have to make friends for him, and these are just guy friends, then imagine him talking to a girl that he wants to, have relations with, right? He would be even more awkward. So I don't think, this is my opinion, I don't have to say allegedly like Daniel seems to do with everything. But I don't think the Tinder thing really holds any water. I wouldn't think Kaylee or Maddie would go on a date with Kohberger from Tinder. That's just my opinion.
Crime of passion.
If you agree, please hit the like button. If you do not agree, please put in the comments what you think. I would appreciate you.
may have had a fascination with death or killing.
One thing that stuck out was it was kind of like on the subject of what it would take to like take someone's life. Like it was kind of like he was trying to see my perspective on, I guess, taking someone's life.
After the pair were first introduced last
Okay, yeah, see? Red flag. That's a red flag, right?
summer, Martinez invited Kohberger to a pool party, and they saw each other occasionally after that. At that same party, Zach Cartwright met Kohberger for...
And I don't know why this is so fucking blurry. It's not mine.
For the first time.
He did seem pretty kind of just socially awkward and kind of hard to carry a conversation with, if I remember correctly. But besides that, he mainly just stood to the side and was really observant, and so much so that based on that one small interaction, he knew exactly who I was maybe a month or so later when I saw him on that hike.
When they crossed paths again, Cartwright says it was strange how quickly Kohberger recognized him.
It was really weird how he approached me and the people that I was with, because he acted kind of like we were best friends, or it was like a reunion or something, and he was really excited to see us.
I mean, you were his best friend, because apparently he didn't have any friends.
And I had no idea really who he was.
Okay, look at Tyler. Okay, I like that. Fire. I like it. And, yeah, so this was one of Kohberger's best friends, because he didn't have that many friends. I don't know. Kind of looks like somebody who might be hanging out with Kohberger, you know. I don't.
Right at that second.
Those two small interactions proved important enough for Cartwright to be interviewed by the FBI after.
This guy right in the white, I mean, he's taking it seriously. He's like, this is my moment. It's probably his biggest moment, you know. It's gonna be his biggest moment in his career, taking Kohberger into custody. Look at his face. He's got this.
After Kohberger's arrest.
I did speak to the FBI at one point. I do believe that they spoke to a lot of people that were at that party. It may be because that was one of his very first times, if not his first time in Moscow.
Martinez and his
Alexa,
wife were
stop.
also interviewed by the FBI. He tells us his wife always felt something was off with the now suspected murderer.
She didn't have a good feeling about him, because every time I would tell her I'm gonna invite Brian. No, please don't. There was just something about him that she didn't like.
In recalling their conversations after Kohberger's arrest, some.
Oh, look, there's my man again. Man.
Key points stick out.
I guess looking back, it's kind of funny because he was talking about how. What was he? He was talking about genealogy, because I was talking about the 23andMe, because my sister had just did all that. And then he brought up something similar in his studies that had to do with being able to catch criminals because of their relatives' DNA.
Wow, so Kohberger even knew about the genealogy, right?
And that has been a really significant part of our information that we've been talking about, the ability to use that DNA software. And I think they had used the DNA software and the DNA that was found on the sheath to track down, I think, his third cousin. And
that's what I was just saying. That's why I said he even knew about the genealogy. And isn't that ironic? You know, they tracked him down that way. Duh. Kohberger, you're a clown.
anyways, and so that was one of the ways that they were trying to confirm that it was Bryan Kohberger. But once they got his dad's DNA out of the trash, that was enough. But it's interesting listening to his neighbor, Mr. Martinez, talk about these kinds of things, because it's giving to us different clue pieces about how Bryan Kohberger was, in my opinion, sort of propositioning Mr. Martinez to say, well, how would you respond if somebody talked to you about murder? What are the things that would cause you to do murder? And one of the initial reports that the police officer said was that it was a crime of passion. So Bryan Kohberger's like, yeah, this was a crime of passion. And I think maybe even trying to encapsulate from somebody what that crime of passion could feel and look like. So,
yeah. And I think I realized why it's so blurry. I think Tyler is using his computer camera, and it's not the best quality, because even when he's recording himself right here, it's blurry as hell. So that's why, in case anybody's wondering.
Really interesting to me to sort of unpack it, break it down, dive into it, think about it, and hear from people that had encounters with him. And it seems like everybody had encounters with him. There's some strange stuff.
But real quick, yeah, Tyler wanted to give you a pro tip. Just use your phone to record, you know, until you get a better camera on your computer, because, you know, I'm just giving you a tip, bro.
Stuff about him. That guy just said his wife wanted nothing to do with Bryan Kohberger. She had a bad feeling the whole time. So I'm interested to see what you guys think about just hearing those first-person interviews about the nature and personhood of Bryan Kohberger. If you don't mind leaving a comment, let me know what you think.
All right, guys. Yeah, I would appreciate if you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to talk to me about it, give me your opinions, put it down in the comments. And yeah, until next time, True Crime King, out.